Hey guys, Curtis Alexander. Let's talk about some effective strategies that you can use to address stomach bloating. Now, what I'll do in the video, I'm going to kind of go over when people have come to me with stomach bloating. These are some of the things I tend to see. I'll go over those. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some what I think are the most effective strategies to address these. Okay. So I just want to hop right into it. One of the first things I see people come to me and they're suffering with stomach acid issues. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, generally speaking, they're not producing enough stomach acid for various different reasons. I'll talk about that as we go along. One of those is maybe they're on medications. We'll talk about that in a sec. But hydrochloric acid, your stomach acid, is critical to you being able to digest food and be able to kick out enzymes down the road, okay, down that process of digestion. If you're not doing that effectively, the food's not getting digested. You can get fermentation, you can get gas and bloating. Okay. So step one, we have to be thinking about stomach acid. I see this in a lot of people. I have had people report that using aloe or things like mastic gum can help with that initial digestion process. I will say this. I don't think they're fixes. I think they're small levers. They're not big ticket items, but I have heard people reporting that that can be helpful. The other thing I see with people, if they have stomach bloating, is they have really poor gut motility, meaning you should be having at least one bowel movement a day. If you're eating normally, that should be the minimum. Many people go more, 2 to 3 times a day in some cases, but you should be going at least once. If you're not, that's constipation, that's poor digestion, and you're going to have bloating. So we have to be thinking about that. Stress and cortisol. Now, cortisol gets a bad name. This is not to say cortisol is bad. It is not, but stress plays a huge, huge role in this whole bloating process. Okay. Including relating back to your stomach acid levels. And we'll talk about this more at the end, but you have to make sure your stress levels are in check. We'll talk about what that looks like. I find this is a huge factor in people who have bloating. Okay. I kind of touched on this in point one, but another factor in people who have bloating issues is medications. An example of that would be PPIs, proton pump inhibitors. People go to the doctor and they're like, I have GERD, I have reflux. So they give them a PPI, and yes, it does knock down the stomach acid. Yes, it helps with the reflux, but they also are not able to digest the food properly. They're not getting very good nutrient absorption. It can lead to downstream problems, for example, lung infections, those sorts of things. So I've made other videos on this, so I don't want to go too deep into that, but medications play a huge role in bloating. You want to keep that in mind. Another factor is sunlight. Well, sunlight gets a bad rap from conventional doctors, don't expose yourself to UV light. It's silly. We've been exposing ourselves to UV light for thousands of years. Sensible sun exposure is a good thing. It's a healthy thing, and it's a healthy thing for your digestion. Okay. So you want that. You want some structure in your life. Do you get up at the same time each day? Are you eating the right foods? Are you trying to fast all day? There's factors that come into your basic life structure. Are you sleeping well? People who have the bloating issues tend to have pretty poor lifestyle, pretty poor structure in their lifestyle. So that's important. And the other thing, and these are common trends, is extremes. In particular, you have people who are vegetarian, they're keto, they're carnivore long-term, and now they're starting to experience these digestive issues. You have to understand when you do these things, and I did them for a long time. I'm not judging people. I'm telling you I experienced this because I did it. I did the fasting. I did all the extreme diets. You tend to see people start to experience some of these digestive issues, and I definitely did. So anytime you're living on the extremes, it is not a good thing. You want to get back to avoiding that. Why is that? Well, there's some factors, and these are really the big ticket, the high leverage strategies you can use to, really affect stomach bloating. So the first one is your stress level. Well, what do we mean by that? Well, it could be any stressor. Like I just talked about, extreme diets. That is a stressor on your system. Your body has to kick in stress hormones to start making energy from sources other than carbohydrates because you're giving your body very few carbohydrates. It could be lack of sleep. It could be lifestyle stress. It could be too much exercise. I have people come to me, people who do long distance stuff on the regular, and they complain of bloating a lot. Well, you're putting so much stress on your body, you're affecting this stomach acid process that starts the whole digestion process. So stress levels have to be in check. That's strategy number one. Nutrition is strategy. What does that look like? Well, it looks like using your common sense. Okay. Carbs are not the devil. They do not cause diabetes. Okay. You do need some fat. You need some saturated fat. You don't want polyunsaturated fats. You don't want seed oils. Okay. You need some protein. You don't have to do a gram protein per pound of body weight per day. Okay. If you tolerate that and you enjoy it, go ahead. But I would stay in the zero 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. That'll give you all the benefits. You need enough protein. You don't need too much, I guess is what I'm getting at. So all three macros are important. The other thing that's overlooked is your micronutrients. Are you eating foods that are rich in minerals that are going to fuel the process of digestion, other vitamins, those sorts of things, organ meats, oysters, whatever it may be? The food you eat should be whole food, should be natural, should be of a wide variety and very micronutrient rich. Okay, that's the thing that's really going to affect and help the stomach bloating. Last thing is lifestyle. And this kind of ties to stress, kind of ties those two in together. But a lot of people come to me, stomach bloating, they drink too much alcohol. They're not getting enough sleep. Maybe they're smoking. They're doing these things from a lifestyle perspective where it's like, you want to fix your stomach bloating, but you're not willing to put in the work on your lifestyle. It's never going to happen. Okay. You have to understand your body is, if you're experiencing stomach bloating, your body's trying to tell you something. And it really starts with stress levels, nutrition, and like I'm touching on here, lifestyle. So that kind of ties everything together. But those are the three things. Yes, there's mastic gum and there's aloe, and there's some of these things that may help a bit to increase stomach acid. But the biggest thing is you are doing things in your life through some of these things that are causing the stomach bloating. So address those. I think you're going to get great results. I know I did. I know others have that actually follow it. So let me know in the comments other topics that would be helpful for me to cover. Make sure to go to my website. The link's in the description. I have a free checklist there, and I go over other natural therapies I personally use and recommend that people have had great results with, from balancing their hormones to improving their sleep across the board, things like stomach bloating as well. So make sure to go grab that. I hope it was helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.